fellow movie buffs and film connoisseurs, it is your self-proclaimed Cinema Shogun here, and it's been about a week or so since Halloween Kills premiered at the Venice Film Festival, and of course, as soon as the movie was done, all the snobby Hollywood critics couldn't wait to run to Rotten Tomatoes and give it negative reviews, saying that the movie was too violent and not diverse enough. And then it seemed like a day or two later, we get this announcement totally from left field that the movie is releasing in theaters and on the Peacock streaming service the same day. And of course, this got a lot of mixed reactions online. We have the people who are scared to leave their house, who are double masked 24/7, who are totally cheering on the fact that they don't have to ever leave their homes again and they could watch Halloween Kills in the comfort of their own home. And then we have the people who I think feel alongside the way that I feel, who feel like this is just a total bummer. And I know a lot of people are wondering, like, why is it such a bummer to you? Like, what is wrong with Halloween Kills going to streaming? Well, for one, it's going to Peacock. Peacock has to be one of the more obscure streaming services. I don't know a single person in existence that has the Peacock app. When you think of streaming services, Peacock is literally at the bottom. It's like the most generic brand of streaming service you could get. It's not going to Netflix, not going to Hulu, not HBO Max, not even Disney Plus. It's going to freaking Peacock. Who has Peacock? Literally nobody. But of course, that's not really one of the bigger deals. Another big deal for me is the fact that it's going to streaming service in theaters the same day. So for those of us who want to see this movie in theaters, we're already going to have it spoiled for us online, because as soon as the movie goes to a streaming service, it's already ripped in HD quality on various bootleg sites. So that's of course going to affect this movie's box office, and it's going to affect the viewing experience of a lot of people who aren't able to make it to the theater the first day. So basically, by the time you log on to the internet, by the time you wake up and get on your phone in the morning that this movie releases, you're already going to see HD clips of all the best kills and all this stuff online already. Another problem that I have is I feel like this movie is part of the revitalization of the slasher franchise, okay? This movie, I feel like, is very key and important to seeing more slasher films going forward. It seems like when the first Halloween movie, like Halloween 2018, came out, that it was kind of an experiment. We didn't know, how well it would do at the box office, so there was never a second or third movie attached to, to the film. They made the movie so it could be a standalone. Now, when the movie came out and it did well, they greenlit a part 2 and a part 3. Now we have this Chucky series coming. We got new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It really got the gears rolling on bringing back the slasher genre. And I feel like Halloween Kills was very important in this whole revitalization and the reviving of the genre, because, all right, Halloween 2018 came out and it was a successful movie. But was that lightning in a bottle? Were people just happy to see slashers back on screen and they just ran out there to go see Halloween? Or is it something that can be duplicated? Would people be interested in seeing a sequel? Will people be interested in going to see all of the other slashers who, used to dominate the box office back in the 80s? So I feel like this movie was going to be the tell-all of all of this. Was 2018 a once-in-a-lifetime lightning in a bottle event? Or is Halloween Kills going to be able to duplicate the success of that box office, leading into even more sequels and leading to even more, just slasher movies being made and put out in theaters, period. So I feel like this movie was very important and played a very important role in all of that. Plus, it's Halloween Kills. I feel like this was kind of like, I don't want to call it the Avengers Endgame of horror movies, because of course there's not as many epic characters, mashed off in this movie, but this movie has a sense of being a bigger horror film, like a bigger slasher film. One of the biggest slasher films we've ever gotten, so the fact that it's going to stream is going to cut into the box office so much, not just because a lot of people are going to stream it at home, but because once it goes on streaming, it's right there on bootleg. So now who needs to even go to the theaters except for people who love the theater experiences, like myself and like many of you watching this video. And you might be thinking, who cares what it does at the box office? None of the money goes in your pockets. And that's true. But you have to realize, Hollywood is a business. It doesn't matter how good Halloween Kills is. It doesn't matter how bad Halloween Kills is. It doesn't matter how many of you watch it on streaming. What matters is, does it make money? If you want to see more Michael Myers movies, if you want to see them bring back Jason, Freddy, all of these other characters, it all depends on the box office. And right now, it depends on the box office of Halloween Kills, because Halloween was the first slasher franchise to basically, revive itself and go back out there and see how it could do in a 2020, 2018 to 2021 climate. So when you're sitting here thinking like, who cares what it does at the box office, you have to realize that the only reason that you ever see any movies is because of the box office. If Halloween 2018 had come out this year, okay, in the middle of this global health crisis, and it wasn't able to get the amount of money that it got at the box office when it came out in 2018, then there would be no Halloween Kills or no Halloween Ends, okay? The sole reason you get sequels to movies isn't because of how good the movie is. Isn't because of how many people watched it on a streaming service. It all has to do with how much money that movie made. So now we know this is just going to be a total box office flop. Half the people are going to sign up and watch it on Peacock. Half the people are going to watch it on bootleg, and you're just going to cut right into your box office, and you're basically setting yourself up for failure. You're setting this movie up to fail. And another thing that's probably one of the biggest things to take away from this is the fact that this movie has already been delayed. You literally delayed this movie for an entire year just so it could come out in theaters. And now you're just putting it on a streaming service? If you were going to do this, you could have honestly just released this movie last year when it was supposed to come out on Peacock or whatever the hell streaming service you wanted, and we could have all watched it back then. But no, you didn't do that. You made us sit here for a freaking year, a whole entire year, to watch this movie in a theater. And we waited patiently. We all patiently waited. There's hella spoilers online. There's people out there who've seen this movie a year ago, okay? So if you really want to know what happens in this movie, you can find out online. There's plenty of people running their mouths about it 24/7 on YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, wherever you want to go. You could figure out what happened in this movie already, okay? So you've put the Halloween fans and the horror fans, you've made us wait patiently all this time just to put it on a streaming service. Something that you could have did last freaking year so we could have saw the movie, but no. You delayed the movie, you even delayed the production of Halloween Ends, and now Halloween Ends basically shaped into a whole nother movie that takes place years after the events of Halloween Kills, which wasn't supposed to be the case in the first place. But anyway, I digress. Basically, you made us wait this whole entire year, and now you're still releasing it on streaming, so what was the wait really for? It was pointless. And for the people who are championing this on, for the people who are scared to step foot out their door and go into a movie theater, okay? That's your right, okay? It's your right to be afraid. If you want to be afraid to live your life, then by all means be afraid to live your life. But other people aren't going to be so afraid. And what you have to realize is if you're comfortable living your entire life in your house and never going outside, you have to realize that the outside world's going to keep moving, okay? So if you're one of these people who are scared to go to movie theaters and don't want to go to movie theaters and you just want everything to come on streaming services, I need you to take a second out of your day to come to the realization that the world doesn't revolve around you. So if you want to be scared and you want to stay home, then stay home. But you need to come to the realization that movies are going to come out, okay? Sports games are going to be played. Sales are going to happen at the supermarket. Things are still going to go on in the outside world with or without you. So stop trying to suppress that and bring everything into this digital world that's all displayed right into, your fingertips right in front of you on the screen. That's not how life works. And I need y'all to, if you're not going to get over it, fine. But you need to realize that other people are moving on with their lives, okay? Other people are ready to go to the movies. I'm ready to go to the movies. So if you're not ready to go to the movies, then maybe you're going to have to realize that you're going to have to sit some movies out. Maybe you need to sit Halloween Kills out, okay? If you're too scared to go to a fucking movie theater, then maybe you need to sit Halloween Kills out. Maybe you need to sit the next Marvel movie out. Because obviously, it's not for you. So all in all, I think putting Halloween Kills on a streaming service is just a terrible decision. You're guaranteeing that your movie will be a box office flop. You're taking a step backwards for movie theaters, who seem to be moving forward now with the release of Shang-Chi and different movies that seem to be doing good at the box office, like Free Guy. This is a major step backwards for movie theaters. I think Halloween Kills has the opportunity to be a huge film. There's this unrelentless urge for a lot of Americans that just want to get back to normal, and we want to get back to the movies. We have Halloween coming up. Halloween Kills. There's not much going on right now. I mean, this movie would have been a major success, but you've guaranteed that it will be a box office flop. You've guaranteed that movie theaters are going to take an even bigger hit because you decided to put it on streaming, and you're going to turn Halloween Kills from what should have been this big event and horror that we could all come together and talk about to just some movie that's forgotten about on a Peacock app. And that's how I feel about the situation. But I'm sure a lot of you feel differently, and your opinions are always welcome here. Your opinions don't have to align with mine. I'm curious to know, how do you feel about all of this? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, hit that like button if you like this video, and as always, find some time out of your day to go watch a movie.